Something really incredible happens over the course of 12 days. The way Summit helps students build a bigger story for their lives is through what we call the DNA of influence. Truth and relationship always intertwining together.
I come from a school where it's very liberal. All the professors are most likely secular. When I got here, I kind of saw that it is possible to teach these things in a Christian worldview.
We say it this way, having a Christian worldview means thinking Christianly. You get to ask tough questions here. And you get to ask those tough questions of really smart people who have good answers to those tough questions.
If you don't know about something, how are you going to be able to develop a question about it? I've actually developed more questions being here than being at home. It's eye-opening how little you really know in comparison to the larger scheme of things.
One thing I really loved about just the speakers in general is they draw out a desire to learn. They want you to ask questions and they want you to understand it and back it up with evidence. Even if it's not in the open forum, they're so willing to just answer your questions, no matter how deep it is. Sometimes they'll say, you want to have lunch with me later on. I'll sit down and I'll talk to you about this topic.
I think the biggest problem students today face is they see lots and lots of little stories, but they don't add up to a big story. But when students see truth and relationship come together in that way in a place like Summit, that's when the really good stuff starts happening. At Summit, we talk about working hard and playing hard. We don't play volleyball just to play volleyball. We play volleyball to build community.
Being able to connect with them, discuss these things, but then also being able to spend time connecting on the sports field, in the hike up the mountain, struggling up, hard to breathe up Pikes Peak. That's when the truth comes out. That's when you get to learn about people, because you can spend as much time as you want in that classroom. But as soon as you leave, that's where people open up.
I love being able to just decompress. I feel like we're so full of all this information, and just being able to get outside really means a lot to me. It's like a breath of fresh air going outside.
The small group, I think, is possibly the most important part of this. You think that you're alone in something, or you think that you've never met someone that's experienced something, and it's right next to you this whole time. You'd never know.
My small group is amazing. I've actually made some incredible friends that I think I will carry with me for the rest of my life. And being able to relate to everyone else's story and tell them you're not alone in this. You can come to me and talk to me about this.
Young adults realize I am part of the big conversation that is taking place in this world about the really important things.
Knowing fact and knowing truth has helped give me so many more tools to go home and be able to touch a heart and put a pebble in a shoe.
Summit's a place where you go not only to see the bigger picture of what God's really doing in this world, but to get a sense of where you fit in that bigger picture. How can you live a bigger story in your own life than you ever imagined you would?